One of my favorite songs that I get to lead, which is Firm Foundation. God is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. When everything around me is shaken, I'll never be more glad. And I put my trust in Jesus. I sing it with every last breath in my body because I believe every single word of it.
I mean, I guess it all started when I was in high school and I became a teenage mom. And then growing up and trying to figure that part out at such a young age. It was a baby, raising a baby. And then going into getting married at an early age as well. Um, and then not really having that foundation of Christ, like a Christ-centered relationship. Of course, things happen throughout the marriage and years pass and we go through a divorce where infidelity took place. A year after the divorce, I find out that I have cancer. Uh, and so I started getting into the word, attending church, not just coming in to check the box, but to really seek out the Lord. And I know there was a moment that I was in my room by myself, crying out to the Lord. And I believe the song Holy Spirit was just coming out. And I was in that room by myself and that song came on. And it was just that confirmation that the Lord is with me. He is in every place that I am, and I have to invite him into that place.
Uncle Dane had put together the select ensemble with a group of us, and then we ended up taking a weekend and doing worship. On some of the weekends, YPAC would lead worship, and that's kind of when I got connected to audition for the worship team. Right around there is kind of where my faith and a lot of things started to get tested. I was a teenage guy that kind of grew up in his teenage years in a church, but I also lived in Waianae, so kind of that balance of like my worldly friends that none of them come to church in Silent Island versus my friends that are here that none of them knows what it's like to be in Waianae. So I kind of was going through a lot of identity problems.
So during cancer, Keanu, he was 15 at the time, and me and his father was already divorced. And so he was this young teenager trying to find his way in life, and he was getting bullied at school. And I was sick and I couldn't really do anything to help him or protect him. And I felt so helpless.
Then I started to fall into like, I always say it's whatever every teenage boy kind of goes through, but it just was a lot worse on me because I was serving at a church at a young age. So a lot of eyes were on me on top of being still living a worldly life and just making bad decisions. I stepped away from the Hope at 2018. I had to go through a lot of reflecting of myself and just kind of stepping out of a lot of things. In that year, 2018, I went through a lot of depression, because I lost everything. I lost my friendships, I lost my relationships, I lost worship, I lost music, I just felt like my whole world was flipped upside down in a matter of a day.
I knew that God was gonna use him in a mighty way. I just didn't know how and when, because the when was the part where I was like, Lord, I know you said you're gonna use him, but why is he going through this? And then going through life change and going through all these classes, I know that the Lord was doing that to shape him and to build character in him. And I just needed to wait till he could see those things for himself.
So once I reached a point where I felt comfortable to come back to church or anything, I decided to go to a different church. And I had signed up to audition for their worship team and all that kind of stuff. But in that moment that I got a response email from their leaders saying they wanted to set up a time and things, I felt God tell me that I was running away from, like I can run away from something, but that wasn't my home. Like my home is New Hope. So when Pastor John called me, I came in and I was under his mentorship for a little bit. But then 2 other guys that still would like reach out to me even before that was Pastor Fred Alkane and then Noni Slade. Those 2 became like my real mentors in and outside of the church. I went through some counseling and some therapy sessions, which is very vital, which is what I needed to go through to speak about my feelings. Yeah, and then through all of that, I came back in 2023.
After cancer, hardships financially had to happen because I was out of work for so long. And so I was on the cusp of losing my home. And so I had to quick sell it before I lose it. And so we moved. And then my brother came to live with us with his 2 kids. And it was great. And we got really close to the kids. My brother just, he got into another relationship, which kind of pulled them away from us a little. And then there was some, emotional battles between the siblings, and they came to a point where we had to decide if, they're gonna stay with me or if they're gonna go with him. At one point, I just had Brina, and for another year until I got Noah. And then we pursued adoption. And then with the state's help, we did get that finalized by the end of 2025. So there's always this connection with something in every trial that brings unity or brings, love. And now with the kids, it brought us together and now we're close. So I think everything is woven in a way of gathering the people together for just God's glory. I think seeing his hand just covering everything up and then bringing people closer in every situation is amazing to me.
There was times where a lot of things around me was shaking, but he is my firm foundation. He is my father, and he is who I trust, he is who I put my faith in.